What I'm making this video for today is these Kevlar furled leaders I've been using. Hand-woven furled leaders from a lady that goes by the name Joni the Utah Fly Goddess, or Furl Girl Leaders. And these things are unbelievably great. I love them. You can make them float. If you just use the Kevlar the way it is, they sink like a brick, which is a great thing too if you're fishing big deep water like what I got behind me here. The thing I like about them the most though is, you know, you've got this great big water and sometimes you need to get really far, and that's one reason I use a spey rod a lot. Today I've been using a miser, but I switched over to this Albright I've got here, and I've got a Trevor Morgan line on this. It's a 10-11 weight spey line, but it's white, and the reason I did it as white is so you can see the line better, because what my intention is here in this video is to show that when you have a headwind, which unfortunately just kind of died a few minutes ago, you can see a little remnants of the waves, but this was a pretty stiff wind a half hour ago, 45 minutes ago, and it was coming in sort of right at me. You know, it's off to the left a bit, but and with these I can go out really far and still get them to lay out straight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand here and I'm going to cast at that piling back there. And that piling, this bridge is made out of 30-foot sections. And I'm standing 135 feet away from the piling, and I'm hoping you can see in this video where the fly hits. You'll be able to see the end of the line, but I've got about 16 feet of leader here. So, but I can make this thing lay out like a chalk line. It just straight as an arrow. So this is a great thing if you're trying to get that few extra feet on some big water. So anybody that's doing it, where you have to cast really far and you need that extra few feet, you might want to give some consideration to these furled leaders. And Joni makes awesome furled leaders. I've become an addict to the things. I just love them. But I'm going to go make a few casts in a second. But another thing I wanted to mention was last fall I did some fly fishing right here for walleye, and they were hitting out on the surface, and I used a floating leader. I made one of these float because I was needing to get the fish. They were chasing shiners up on the surface, and I got one to do it, and I could get out because they were hitting far. They were hitting out towards the middle of the river. In fact, I'm building a 17-foot 11 weight Thomas & Thomas spey rod just because last fall more distance would have been great, and the distance I did get, I attribute at least a few feet, you know, maybe 10 or 12 more feet to the fact that I had the furl leader and I could get the darn thing to lay out straight. Yeah, these things are great. So anyway, I'm going to go take a couple casts, and hopefully you can see in this video just how straight these things lay out. Well, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but the point is, these furl leaders will put a fly extra distance just because they'll lay out so straight, and you can make them do things you can't do with the regular, you know, monofilament leader. So, plus you have less knots, you know. So I've broke several line class records in the last year, and I think all of them have been on a furl leader. I don't think any of them weren't. But the only thing you have to worry about busting that's the wrong pound test on these things is the knot on the fly and the knot on the O-ring here, or the little split. It's not even a split ring. They're solid welded rings, so there's nothing to come apart on them. But the ring on the end, or the fly, that's the only knot you have to worry about. And if you've got a good 100% knot, you're good to go. Just use the right line and you're not going to have any problems. So Joni's Furled Girl Fly Leaders. Yeah, she's got a website, Joni the Utah Fly Goddess. You can look her up on that too. But I can't say enough good things about these leaders. I'm truly become an addict. And by the way, she didn't ask me to do this. I'm out in Minnesota. She's in Utah. I've never even met her. So, but do yourself a favor and look for these leaders. They're great.